Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the top 10 most powerful magic weapons of Han Li from Immortal's journey to immortality. In Immortal's journey to immortality, once Han Li finally condensed his nascent soul, he officially stepped into the ranks of high-level cultivators. From that moment on, his name began spreading across the southern cultivation world. But the truth is, Han Li's rise to fame actually began much earlier, right in the early stage of the nascent soul realm. And that fame was built on two shocking achievements. First, during the Battle of Huanglong Mountain and the Border War, Han Li did the unthinkable. He instantly killed 3 nascent soul cultivators, and even managed to escape from the pursuit of a late-stage nascent soul expert. Second, he went on to slay the 4th elder of the Yinluo sect, who himself stood at the peak of the mid-nascent soul stage. These two feats cemented Han Li's reputation. Of course, his profound cultivation was the foundation, but we can't overlook one critical factor. Han Li was armed with far too many powerful magic weapons. And that leads us to the big question. What were the 10 most powerful treasures Han Li possessed back when he was still in the human world? Let's start from the bottom and work our way up. Number 10. The 3-Flame Fan. This fan was a replica, modeled after the legendary 7-Flame Fan, one of the great Tongtian Lingbao. Back in the Demon Valley, Han Li actually obtained the refining method for the original, but crafting it required 81 different fire attribute spiritual materials, something simply impossible to gather in the mortal cultivation world. Later, through the modifications of the great Yen god, the replica became the 3-Flame Fan. Now, don't underestimate it just because it's an imitation. Normally, replica treasures only unleash 10 to 20% of the original's power, but this fan could actually bring out 30 to 40%. That alone gave it combat strength comparable to a late nascent soul cultivator. After Han Li refined it, he was able to defeat a terrifying 10th level silver-winged Xianxia and even frighten away Donghua Mo, a late-stage nascent soul elder. The drawback: its mana consumption was insane. A single wave of the fan could drain a third of Han Li's energy. Still, during his nascent soul stage, this weapon remained one of Han Li's most devastating trump cards. Number 9. The 5 Sons of Unity Demons. This eerie weapon was originally refined by the Yinluo sect's Grand Elder, Donghua Mo, and later fell into Han Li's hands. The refinement process was as cruel as it was sinister. To create these 5 demons, you needed the corpses of 5 nascent soul cultivators who carried heavy resentment, then rebuild their bodies with rare materials, bury them underground, and for decades on end nourish them with the blood, flesh, and souls of unaligned cultivators. Only after more than 100 years would spiritual intelligence awaken. Normally, their strength might only reach the late core formation stage, but Donghua Mo, being a twisted genius, managed to refine them all the way up to the early nascent soul stage. Once bound by ritual, these 5 demons could fight together, rivaling even late-stage nascent soul experts, and they were almost impossible to kill. During the Battle of Kunwu Mountain, Han Li slew Donghua Mo and seized the 5 Unity demons, subduing them by force. Later, after the great battle at Xiaoji Palace, he went a step further, merging the terrifying 5-colored cold flames into the demons themselves. This granted them the ability to unleash those flames directly, making them deadlier than ever. Whether it was at Xiaoji Palace against Han Lisang, against the 6-Path Saint and the Yinluo sect master, or even when taking blows from powerful elders like Donghua Mo, these 5 demons stood as Han Li's unshakable support in the human world. Number 8. The Wind and Thunder Wings. Among Han Li's weapons, this one is legendary not for destructive power, but for survival. The Wind and Thunder Wings granted him the ability to perform thunder escape, a speed so fast it rivaled teleportation. This treasure originated from the 9th level wind-breaking beast, Feng Shi. Using the bones of a late-stage Thunderpong and years of research, Feng Shi attempted to refine these wings, even enlisting the help of other high-level monsters to fuse their elemental powers together. But before he could complete it, Han Li, still only at the late core formation stage, fell into Feng Shi's hands. Feng Shi wanted to use Han Li's wood attribute spiritual power to balance the wings. But Han Li wasn't one to wait for death. Using the miraculous green liquid from his mysterious small bottle, he turned the tables on the 3 demon queens, and in the chaos, snatched away the unfinished wind and thunder wings. From there, Han Li completed the refinement himself, infusing the wings with divine thunder to ward off evil, and even later adding Kuanping feathers to enhance them further. By then, the wind and thunder wings had the strength of an imitation Lingbao. For Han Li, they became absolutely invaluable. Their speed was unmatched, even late Nascent Soul cultivators struggled to catch him, and against spiritual transformation experts, they gave him the sliver of a chance to survive. Time and again, they saved his life, especially back in the days when he had just obtained the Xianxia and was being hunted by Nascent Soul demons. Without these wings, even Xianxia would have torn him apart. And not only escape, paired with his dry blue ice flame and divine thunder, Han Li used the wind and thunder wings offensively as well, ambushing countless enemies with overwhelming speed. In truth, the value of this treasure to Han Li was greater than even 2 Tongtian Lingbao. Number 7. The Dry Blue Ice Flame. This was no ordinary flame, but an extremely cold fire capable of reducing even Nascent Soul cultivators to ashes, annihilating both body and soul. Han Li first encountered it when he obtained the Xianxia. It came sealed inside. At the early Nascent Soul stage, he barely refined a wisp of it, but even that was terrifying. His very first use wiped out the body of a Mulan grassland mage, and his second froze a cultivator surnamed Du, completely erasing both him and his Nascent Soul in an instant. Over time, Han Li's control of the flame grew more precise, making it one of his most lethal weapons against Nascent Soul enemies. And he didn't stop there. By merging the flame with the icy essence of his 6-winged frost centipede, Han Li cultivated it into an even more terrifying flame, the purple Luo Extreme Fire. Stronger than the dry blue ice flame itself, this became one of Han Li's ultimate killing trump cards. Number 6. The Xianxia. Now we come to one of the most iconic treasures in Han Li's entire journey. The Xianxia was the supreme treasure of the Chaos Star Sea, and also the very first Tongtian Lingbao that Han Li ever obtained. Unlike ordinary ancient treasures, a true Lingbao contained incredible divine powers, but they weren't easy to wield. One had to cultivate the Tongbao arts to activate them. The first level could only be practiced by a mid-nascent soul cultivator, the second by a late nascent soul, and the third by a divine transformation cultivator. That meant when Han Li, still at the core formation stage, first acquired the Xianxia, he couldn't use it at all. Even by mid-nascent soul, his control was limited. He could only summon its spiritual light for basic defense and suppression. Later, once he reached higher stages, he managed to open the Ding's lid and even use it to collect magic weapons. Compared to his other treasures, the Xianxia was admittedly underwhelming during Han Li's nascent soul years. Only at the divine transformation stage could its full abilities be revealed, but by then, Han Li's own strength had already grown to where he didn't rely on such tools. Still, we can't forget, this was a true heaven-reaching treasure. And even when limited, it saved Han Li's life more than once. For instance, without the Xianxia blocking the spatial rift at Kunwu Mountain, even Han Li himself might have perished alongside Hu Lao Mo. Number 5. The 8 Spirit Ruler. This was no ordinary weapon, but another heaven-reaching Lingbao, one of the 2 great treasures suppressing the soul of the Xianxia saint ancestor inside Kunwu Mountain. During that legendary battle, the Black Wind Flag was detonated, leaving only the 8 Spirit Ruler behind. And that ruler would eventually fall into Han Li's hands, becoming the second true Tongtian Lingbao he ever acquired. Unlike the Xianxia, the 8 Spirit Ruler was a Buddhist treasure, with incredible restraining effects, especially against demonic powers. In fact, compared to the Ding, Han Li could unleash far greater strength with the ruler even while only at mid-nascent soul. Still, because he had so many treasures by that stage, the 8 Spirit Ruler often served more as a supportive weapon than a main killer. Its most impressive performance was when it froze the dreaded Immortal Destroying Pearl wielded by the Yin Luo sect master, neutralizing a threat that could have ended countless cultivators' lives. Sadly, when Han Li attempted to ascend through a spatial node, the 8 Spirit Ruler was destroyed in a devastating space storm. Even so, during its time with Han Li, it was one of his most reliable defensive treasures. Number 4. Empress Yuan's Puppet. Now this one is fascinating. The puppet of Empress Yuan was the life's work of the great Yen god, brought to completion thanks to the rare materials Han Li himself supplied. Enhanced by both imitation Lingbao and even a true Lingbao, the puppet's power was terrifying, essentially equal to having a late nascent soul expert fighting at Han Li's side. What made it unique was that it contained half of the great Yen god's own spirit, giving it genuine intelligence. Its body was forged from countless rare treasures, and when armed with the Thunderfire Bow, Golden Thunder Bamboo arrows, and the infamous Magic Marrow Flying Knife, then paired with Han Li's own second nascent soul controlling it, the puppet's combat power truly reached late nascent soul levels. However, it wasn't without flaws. To unleash its full strength, it required high-grade spirit stones, and those were rare, precious, and incredibly difficult to acquire. Still, in battle, Few could underestimate the might of Empress Yuan's puppet, and for Han Li it was a crucial companion during his human world journey. Number 3. The Green Bamboo Bee Cloud Sword. This was not just a weapon, it was Han Li's life-bound treasure, and the very heart of his cultivation path. The Green Bamboo Bee Cloud Sword was a set of 72 flying swords, refined from golden thunder bamboo, each infused with the power of wood and thunder. The technique behind them came from Qing Yuanzi's Qing Yuan sword arts, a legacy passed to Han Li through his master Li Huayuan back in Yellow Maple Valley. During his foundation establishment period, Han Li had already obtained fragments of this legacy, including a silver page from the giant sword cultivator, and eventually pieced together the complete 13-layer sword art and the method to refine the Bee Cloud Sword. Later, during the core formation stage, fate gifted him a small piece of sky thunder bamboo from the Miaoyin sect. By nurturing it with the mysterious green liquid of the heavenly bottle, Han Li not only resurrected the plant but cultivated it into 1,000-year-old golden thunder bamboo, enough to forge 72 flying swords, each one a priceless treasure in its own right. Why was this set so terrifying? Because golden thunder bamboo could unleash divine thunder, a force devastating to demonic cultivators. Paired with Han Li's own evil-warding divine thunder, the sword formation became a nightmare for his enemies. Later, he enhanced them further with gung metal essence, unlocking the devastating Dagung sword formation. Even in the early Nascent Soul stage, he used only a fraction of it to slaughter the Inluo sect's 4th elder. By late Nascent Soul, Han Li was confident he could use it to trap even cultivators at the spiritual transformation stage, preventing them from escaping unscathed. As his natal magic weapon, the Green Bamboo Bee Cloud Sword remained one of his deadliest trump cards. Number 2. The Immortal Destroying Pearl. Known in the spiritual world as Lei Zhenzi, these pearls were fearsome even among high-realm cultivators. Han Li managed to obtain 2 of them, one from the Inluo sect master, and another from Majiu. Although both were considered defective products by spiritual world standards, in the human world, their power was absolutely devastating. With them, even a cultivator at the spiritual transformation stage could not emerge unscathed. Though Han Li rarely used them directly, their mere presence was enough to terrify his enemies. When old Monster Feng, a transformation stage powerhouse, was chasing him, the moment Han Li revealed one Immortal Destroying Pearl, Feng's expression instantly darkened. When Han Li revealed he actually had 2, even Xianxia, another transformation stage expert, was visibly shaken. Word of these pearls spread quickly, and even Hu Lao Mo, one of the most sinister late Nascent Soul elders, admitted his fear of them. In terms of deterrence alone, these pearls carried more weight than even a true Lingbao. Number 1. The Heavenly Bottle. At the very top, of course, stands the mysterious little green bottle, the Heavenly Bottle itself. This wasn't just the greatest treasure of the human world, but one of the most unparalleled artifacts in the spirit and immortal realms as well. Without it, Han Li's story might have ended before it even began. With his false spiritual roots, Han Li could never have set foot far on the path of cultivation. But the Heavenly Bottle changed everything. It allowed him to accelerate the growth of spiritual herbs and medicines, ensuring he never lacked pills for his cultivation. It enabled him to mass-produce life-saving resources, nurture treasures like the golden thunder bamboo, cultivate fearsome spirit beasts like the blood jade spiders, gold-eating beetles, and 6-winged frost centipedes, and even refine materials thought impossible to obtain. Every leap forward in Han Li's cultivation, every miraculous survival, every incredible weapon, tied back to this mysterious artifact. Truly, without the Heavenly Bottle, there would be no Han Li. He couldn't have even walked out of the God Hand Valley alive. It is, without a doubt, the foundation of everything that followed. And that completes the list of Han Li's 10 most powerful magic weapons during his time in the human world. Each of them played a critical role, from devastating treasures like the Green Bamboo Bee Cloud Sword and Dry Blue Ice Flame, to life-saving tools like the Wind and Thunder Wings and, of course, the mysterious Heavenly Bottle that shaped his entire destiny. So what do you think, fellow fans? Did I miss any treasure you feel deserves a spot on this list? Or do you agree that the Heavenly Bottle is truly number 1? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and stay tuned, because Han Li's story in the spirit world only grows more insane from here.